Princess Kate looks thrilled to catch up with old pal Roger Federer, as he's honored at Wimbledon, while wife Mirka concentrates on the action on the court. The Princess of Wales, 41, was among those enthusiastically applauding as Federer, 41, was honored for his stellar sporting achievements on centre court today, following his retirement from the game last year. Meanwhile, his wife Mirka watched on in the royal box, where other guests included Prince Michael of Kent, and his daughter Lady Gabriella, and former Prime Minister David Cameron, and his wife Samantha. As the All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club's patron and a sports fan, the Princess of Wales is a regular of the royal box, and has cultivated a strong bond with the 8-times Wimbledon winner. She even broke royal protocol in 2017, and planted 3 kisses on his cheeks, as she congratulated the sportsman for winning the tournament for the 8th time. While the Prince of Wales and Federer's wife Mirka watched on, the playful friendship extends beyond the court, with Kate and Roger working on several projects together, and both starring in a video highlighting the work of ball boys and girls in late June, where the royal put the tennis star through his paces. In addition to catching up with Roger, the royal was also seen chatting with Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe, the British-Iranian woman who spent 6 years in prison in Iran, after being arrested in 2016 at Tehran airport. The mother of one, who had been visiting family in the country, was charged with trying to overthrow the regime, which she has always denied. She finally returned to the UK in 2022, after a campaign by her husband Richard and a team of lawyers. Nazanin previously spoke about how tennis helped her cope in prison, telling Andy Murray during an episode of the Today program that his Wimbledon victory in 2016 helped her to bond with other inmates. She said she was so inspired by Andy's victory that she taught other inmates his name, which helped forge a connection and made her feel closer to home. The princess, who has been patron of the All England Lawn Tennis Club since 2016, looked elegant as she arrived at the All England Club, wearing a smart pleated white skirt and mint 1,950-pound Balmain blazer. At today's event, she wore her hair in loose waves across her shoulders, and opted for neutral makeup, with a sweep of eyeliner and a touch of blusher. Meanwhile, she kept her jewelry simple, opting for a simple pearl bracelet and 72-pound chunky knot Baroque pearl earrings by Sheila. Kate's choice of Balmain for her outfit marked the first time the royal has been seen in the French label. Celebrity fans of the fashion house include Cara Delevingne and Kim Kardashian. Meanwhile, Balmain's creative director previously said he would love to dress Kate's sister-in-law Meghan Markle, and described her as confident, sexy and respectful. The princess opted to pair the trendy blazer, which features white button detailing and white lapels, with a white midi skirt and matching accessories. As play began on center court, Kate was seated in the royal box, where she was greeted by a standing ovation. At 1 p.m., Federer was joined by his wife Mirka on court, and fans were treated to a special video montage of his best moments through the years. The couple then stayed for the day's play as special guests in the royal box. The tennis player has become a friend of the royals and the Middletons in the past few years, even attending the wedding of Kate's sister Pippa to James Matthews in 2017. Kate has long been a good friend of Federer, and has made a number of appearances with him over the years. As a fan, Kate has been seen cheering Roger on several times throughout his career, as he battled it out on the court at Wimbledon. In 2017, Kate shocked fans by breaking royal protocol when she planted 3 kisses on Federer's cheeks to congratulate him on winning Wimbledon for the 8th time. She also offered him his unwavering support during tough time, including in 2019, after he lost against Novak Djokovic, presenting Federer with the runner-up trophy following an intense game that lasted almost 5 hours. Kate had friendly words of consolation for the tennis ace, and gently patted him on the arm as the world watched on. 5 years earlier, the Princess of Wales put on a particularly animated display, as Federer took on Novak Djokovic in a nail-biting final that was eventually won by the Serbian, making his the world's #1 in front of Rafael Nadal and Federer, who was bumped to 3rd place. Kate and Federer were due to take part in a charity tennis day last year, but the princess pulled out following the Queen's funeral. He has also visited the Willeses at their home at Anmer Hall in Norfolk, and has given Prince George a private tennis lesson. And just last week, the royals released a video in which Kate played tennis against Roger. In a clip shared last week by Kensington Palace on their YouTube channel, the pair played a doubles match on No3 court, where Federer won his first match on the way to taking his first Wimbledon title 20 years ago. To highlight the work of ball boys and girls at the tournament, Kate managed to get a shot past the Swiss star, prompting him to exclaim, "I think it was on the line." Amazing. However, the princess also took the opportunity to try to get some sneaky coaching advice from the former world No.1. "Any tips on my serve at the same time would be very helpful," she said. But Federer replied only with a compliment, saying, "The serve looks good." In one cheeky moment, Federer even scolds the princess for catching a ball instead of letting it bounce. He said, "Are you allowed to do that? At Australia, they catch it. But in Wimbledon, they don't." What's more, the princess also took the opportunity to try to get some sneaky coaching advice from the former world No.1. "Any tips on my serve at the same time would be very helpful," Kate said. But Federer replied only with a compliment, saying, "The serve looks good." Keen tennis player Kate said, "Wimbledon is renowned for its amazingly professional ball boys and ball girls. The amount of work it takes, it's incredible to see it behind the scenes." She then said, "It's so good to see you, Roger," before walking onto the court for their match. Meanwhile, Roger has been married to Mirka, a former WTA tennis player, since 2009. They met while they were both competing for Switzerland in the 2000 Sydney Olympics. Mirka retired from the tour in 2002 because of a foot injury, and has since worked as Federer's public relations manager. Their relationship is said to be one of the most enduring in the temptation-filled world of competitive sport. In an interview, Federer once said of Mirka, "As long as I wake up in the morning and she is next to me, that's all that matters." It's unlikely today will be Kate's only visit to the tournament this year. The royal is known to be an avid fan. The family even have a court at their country home, Anmer Hall in Norfolk. Last year, she and Prince William were joined by their son Prince George for the event. The princess has incorporated tennis into a number of royal engagements, even joining Emma Raducanu on court for a homecoming victory match. Following her US Open win last year, rain is forecast for much of the day Tuesday in southwest London. Matches began on most courts shortly after 11 a.m. at the All England Club, but the tarps came out as the rain came down about an hour later. Kate joined former tennis player Laura Robson to watch a little of the action ahead of the ceremony at 1 p.m. Sitting in the crowd to watch Katie Boulter playing against Daria Saville, Kate managed to watch a little of Katie, who won her first WTA title at Nottingham and reached the semi-finals at Surbiton, before rain called off play. The break comes at a good time for the Brit, who is 6-5 down in the first. Elsewhere this morning, Italian tennis star Jannik Sinner made a surprising fashion choice for his first-round Wimbledon clash with Francisco Cerundolo. Despite the strict rule book that regulates what players can wear or carry out onto the court, the 21-year-old stepped out onto center court, carrying a custom Gucci duffel bag. It featured the signature GG monogram with a green and red web stripe with his initials, marked against where the straps connect to the brown leather. Sinner's bold fashion choice was the first time that a luxury bag has made an appearance on center court at Wimbledon. As well as Boulter, 8 other British players will be taking to the courts on Tuesday. Spectators on center court will later watch the Battle of the Brits begins between Andy Murray and Ryan Peniston. On court 1, Cameron Norrie will face Tomas Machak from the Czech Republic. British colleagues Heather Watson, George Lofhagen, Arthur Fury and Sonny Cardle will also play, while Dan Evans continues his match after it was suspended on Monday. Wimbledon saw the highest attendance on day 1 of the tournament since 2015, organizers said. According to the All England Lawn Tennis Club, AELTC, 42,815 people attended the championships on Monday, which means there were over 6,000 more spectators than last year, when 36,603 people visited. Michelle Dite, operations director for AELTC, told reporters that 11,500 people gained entry to the grounds via the queue on Monday. She added, "We had our highest attendance at the championships on day 1 since 2015 yesterday." On Tuesday morning, fans in the queue were optimistic about their chances of watching the second day of the tournament, after hold-ups at security frustrated spectators on Monday. On day 1, some spectators who had visited Wimbledon in previous years said the queue was the worst they had seen. Organizers said extra checks put in place over concerns about protests were to blame for the slow queue. The championships will run until July 16.